Time now to check in with Nick Day, Managing Editor of Global Policy and Regulation. Good morning, Nick.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, so interesting story from this morning on CoinDesk about India. Wondering whether you can talk about what's going on there. This was tax authorities sort of surreptitiously auditing crypto companies, and of course, India has been a country that's been, let's say, somewhat hostile towards crypto and seen as a bit of a bellwether in where things are going outside of the US in terms of regulatory pushback against crypto.
Yeah, so the story you're referring to by our colleague Amitoj Singh, basically last year, India collected around $11 million worth of Indian rupees in back taxes, fees, and penalties from 5 different crypto exchanges. And this appears to have been a months-long investigation into whether or not these crypto exchanges were properly reporting their taxes and paying goods and services tax. And the tax authorities came to the conclusion that they were not. But the exchanges say that it's not a deliberate oversight. It's that the tax regime was unclear to them, and so they didn't realize that they had to pay the taxes until the authorities came knocking. And what really kind of struck me is Amitoj reported that a lot of these exchanges paid some fees on top of the taxes voluntarily as part of an effort to try and maybe head off more severe penalties further down the line. So clearly India's official agencies, if not the central government, are looking at this issue, and the taxman is always going to try and get their I don't want to say a lump of coal, but they're always going to try and make sure that taxes are paid. So
pound of flesh.
Yeah, pound of flesh. Yeah. So even if the much anticipated crypto bill out of the Parliament isn't coming soon, for sure it's clear that there are other entities looking at this issue.
Fine, I'll take the bait. Is this something that's going to something that we can look at in the United States with some of the proposals going on right now and say, okay, this might be how it plays out, or is this just a very uniquely Indian situation?
I mean, the IRS has been pretty active collecting taxes from crypto exchanges or crypto exchange users for years now. It's almost become a common occurrence where every year we talk about how the IRS sends out letters to crypto exchange traders saying, hey, we think that you owe taxes on XYZ transactions that you conducted in, 2 years ago. And, please talk to us or we're going to, come out at you. So, going back to my earlier point about, the tax collector always making sure they're on top of this, the IRS will make sure that it's collecting, whatever it feels is owed, even though, one of the issues, and this is probably a similarity between here and India, is a lot of people just aren't really sure how to file taxes on some of the stuff they're looking at. So, for example, in India, the article from this morning, it was a GST tax. Goods and services, this is a relatively new regime that India implemented in 2017 to try and consolidate some of its previous tax regimes. So it is actually a relatively new framework that exchanges have to abide by. Here in the US, a lot of users have, we've had long-standing questions about how exactly do you approach taxes, how, what transactions do you have to pay taxes on? The answer is all of them, but, now people are trying to sell, during a dip to try and offset capital gains from previous sales. They're trying to figure out, how to handle NFT taxes, because one of the, kind of not crazy, but one of the kind of oddities of the U.S. tax regime is every transaction is taxable. So, if you're just flipping NFTs, then every single one of those NFT flips is going to be a taxable event. And so, we're starting to see people ask questions about, okay, well, what's the best way to try and, report all of this in a way that is both comprehensive, but also not, insanely detailed and requiring you to go over hundreds of transactions.